We're live. These will be published at the end of the season when I post all the episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, but nobody can see now.
No.
No.
Okay. My hair is all a mess.
It's audio anyway, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go off camera then.
All right, go ahead and start, Miss Cody.
All right. Welcome to another Big Brother Online Game Season 7 BB Live Eviction Chat. I, of course, am one of the hosts, Cody. And joining me is the current evicted house guest and the third jury member of the season, Mimi. Mimi, thank you for joining us this evening.
Oh, of course.
All right, so let's get right on to it because I think this week right here was probably the biggest shock and blindside ever. It's week 10 in the Big Brother house. Cisco wins his fourth HOH of the season. He nominates both Lane and Najee. And then we come to the veto competition, and Cisco pulls out another miraculous win, and he decides to take off Najee, and then Allie goes up as replacement nom, and things look to be going good, and then just out of nowhere, Jen uses her secret power. And
well, not out of nowhere.
Well, I don't know. For me personally, I was watching the whole thing. I thought it was pretty serious.
Okay.
But she uses her secret power, which was the coup d'etat, and basically you and Kelly are up there on the block. I mean, what was going through your mind?
Oh, I totally expected that to happen. I was just waiting for it.
I mean, I thought it was kind of like a huge blindside in my opinion because
it was a blindside me leaving, but me going up was not a blindside.
So I mean, you were kind of expecting. Me. So you were expecting to leave this week instead of either Lane or Allie.
No, I wasn't expecting to leave. I thought when she changed the noms that Kelly would leave.
Right.
So what happened?
I didn't think Lane was that.
Would you say dumb?
Well, I don't want to say dumb because I don't think Lane's a dumb player, but I just thought that he was more logical, kind of like me. Like I'm too logical. Like if things don't make sense, I don't do it. Like if things make sense, I do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to do something just because, oh, this might work out. No. Like I thought everything was so clear, like who was together. Like I didn't even campaign to Lane. Lane was my number one. I don't think I need to campaign to my number one and say, oh my God, keep me. Like I thought there's no way he's going to keep Kelly in here with her number one, Najee, and she just saved Cisco, who was after Lane. So I wanted Cisco to go because I don't want my number one to be gone after like that. So I'm thinking, there's no way I'm leaving. Like, I just didn't think, he would think that was a good idea. It wasn't a good idea. I guess he wants to have to win his way to the final, and that's fine. It's hard to do. I did it in RBB. It's very hard. It'll be interesting to see if he can. I would think that he would have wanted some help from me because I would have been helping him. I don't know.
Do you think he was just worried about going to the end with you and having you win?
Maybe, but I mean, you have to get there first. He's very likely, if he doesn't win this veto tonight, he can leave. And why leave like fifth when you could make the final two? And if you think you played a good enough game, you can beat me. I don't think anyone would have beaten me, but he could have.
If things wouldn't have transpired the way they did, do you think you would have had a chance to make it to the final three? If things
yes,
didn't end up the way they did?
100%. If I had stayed, I would have made it to the final two. No question.
Do you think you would have won?
Yes.
So do you think, like, if you think that, do you think maybe it could have potentially been smart for Lane to get you out if you would have been the obvious winner?
Yeah, there's a couple ways to look at it. You just never know. Like, in the sense of, oh, God, she's up there. She needs to go. Like, I get it. I told Cody when he messaged me, like, I'm not mad. I understand. Like, I do understand. Like, yes, get rid of me. You know, like, yes, that's probably what you should do because not trying to be whatever, but I am a jury threat. whatever you want to
Mm-hmm.
call it.
Right.
Yeah, get rid of me. But if you're my number one, don't get rid of me. That doesn't make sense for you. Like, it's not what you should
Right. I
do.
mean,
Everyone else, yes, get rid of me. But Lane is the one person that should have kept me. Everyone else, I should have left because everyone else evicted me, not Lane.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
But
That makes sense.
but
So
I
let's
mean,
talk about. Oh, go ahead,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh no, you go ahead. You're fine.
Oh, I was gonna say, so if you had like the game, like the winning like game, like the winner's edit, let's talk about your game some. What was your strategy coming in, and did it like change any? Who were you working
yeah,
with?
of course. Well, my strategy going in was just to lay low at first. I mean, I feel now like, again, not trying to be braggy or
Cocky.
whatever,
Yeah.
but I have a good track record in games, so
Mhm.
I feel like I'm a threat. So I just kind of was laying low and just talking to people, not even game wise, really, except for my alliance, of course, which was Drew, Lane, Kelly, you know, that whole group.
Mhm.
But Max, um, and just talking to other people a little here and there, like, you know, normal stuff. A little bit of game stuff, but not too much. You don't want to make yourself seem, overly messy or anything like that. And my strategy was just to stay off the block. I didn't really care who left if I didn't leave. There was no one in there that I was just like, oh my God. Well, except for Kelly, but she also had Najee and a couple other people too, so it was a little not clear, I guess. But Kelly was my number one starting out. It wasn't
Mhm.
until that she saved Cisco, and after Cisco had just nominated me, it just made me feel like I still felt like I was Kelly's number one, but I didn't feel like she would protect me as far as wanting to win a comp to like keep me safe. I thought her game to me looked like a couple of Mike's games where um you get the people that are going to take you, and at Final Four you can throw everything because everyone's going to take you, and
Mhm.
that's
Right.
fine and it's a good strategy, but it's not a good strategy if somebody knows your game, because I know that game, and I don't like that because you're not helping me any. Like, I don't want to have to win my way to the end. I don't. It's hard.
Right.
Mhm.
Something I wanted to
So
touch back
you.
up. Oh,
Oh no, go ahead. You're fine.
okay. Something I wanted to touch back on. I mean, you're talking about how, I mean, it was a smart idea to get you out, but if you look
Hmm.
at, I mean, you're one of the returning players that came in. I mean, if you go back to the beginning, Alicia, Kyle, Ryan, then Drew, those guys were returning players too. I mean,
Right.
why do you think that you last longer than what they did?
um
As in,
well,
do you think that
it's
it was strategic
with
or
with Drew. He he could have went really far. He could have won. I think his main mistake was obviously putting Jen up that he shouldn't have, which I get why he did. He had heard she wanted to go after him, which I knew that she would have went after Cisco and Dave before him and Lane. So to me, I would have left that in there, or not put her up or whatever because of that.
Mhm.
Um, but I get why he did it.
Yeah.
Um, I think had he not done that and had just a few little things could have been differently for a couple of those guys. Like, had he not done that, Max would have stayed. It would have went completely differently.
but I
Okay.
mean, do you feel like oh, go ahead, you're good.
I was gonna ask. Since she basically had her main alliance of the pretty committee, does she wish that she would have worked with anyone else?
Well, I tried to work with Ryan, and I would have worked with Ryan, but around, I don't know, not very long before he was nominated and left, Kelly and somebody else, I cannot remember for anything, but someone else also said that he was saying that, like, I was playing under the radar and playing both sides, which I wasn't playing both sides. I just um, I was playing with my alliance, not at all both sides. I was very clearly against a certain side. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah. But when I heard that he was saying that stuff, I couldn't work with him.
Okay, okay. Um, okay, so what was going on like in the beginning between you and Amber? Because you wanted her and Eddie out like
Yeah, I wanted
hardcore.
Eddie out first and foremost because that very first night in that live hangout thing, like right when I got in there, he said, "Oh, Miss RBB winner herself." Like when I came in,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in my season, so I was thinking him saying that just made me think like, "Oh shit," you know. And then he mentioned his screenshot that he showed after our season, and it had said something like he knew I was going to win and all this stuff. And so I was thinking he has to be thinking the same thing now, like he's going to want me out, which
Right.
didn't end up being the case. And I'm, you know, I gladly read that wrong. I wish he had been able to stay even, like, you know, whatever. But then in Amber, we had played a game together right before, and she was just so against me. And I know how she plays in a sense of having to GH with everyone all the time, having to talk on the phone with everyone all the time. And she doesn't do that with me, so I know she's not with me. So she
Mm-hmm.
had to go.
Right.
Um, is there anything you wish that, oh, for one, you said that you were expecting Jen to play the power, and like, I guess you
Hmm.
knew that you would be up against Kelly.
Hmm.
Is there any part of you that wish you would have just like at least said something to Lane? Because if you look at it on the flip side, Kelly had
Um,
nothing to lose because like
well, I mean,
as it.
we were still talking normal. Like,
Hmm.
I don't, I mean, no, there was, no, I would never go to my number one person and be like, oh, you have to keep me, blah, blah, blah. No, that looks so dumb and shady. No, if he wants to take his chances on making final two, he very well can do that.
Because you had to know Kelly was campaigning, right? If like, because she had
Oh,
nothing to
till she
lose.
was blue in the face, I'm sure. I'm sure she was saying everything in the world. Cisco's going to win over me. I will definitely evict Cisco. No and no. Cisco won't win over Kelly. Everyone knows that. Anyone with a brain can look at the game and see that. Um, that's all just fluff. And I thought Lane was very logical and could see through that, so I didn't even worry with it.
Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna do this part. I do it like now towards the end. I'm gonna like name off each person in the end, and I want you to say like the first thing that comes to your mind when I say them. Okay?
What do you mean?
Like if I say like Max, you'd say like first thing that comes to your head, like from him in the game.
Oh, oh Lord. Okay.
All right, Allie,
Quiet.
Kelly,
Winning.
Lane,
Not logical.
Najee,
Um, Funny.
Cisco.
Um, oh Lord. Cisco's such a good player. Um, uh, um, a pleasant surprise.
Okay. And my follow-up question is usually who do you think would win? And you said
Kelly.
that Elaine.
Yeah, Lane or
I mean,
Kelly.
for Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
So why
Kelly
do you think
deserves the
Kelly's the
win.
choice to win?
Kelly got Lane to vote out me.
Mm-hmm.
That's does it for me.
And who would your second pick be?
Cisco or
Cisco.
Lane. Well, here's my thing. Kelly, I think, deserves it over anyone. And then
Mhm.
next for me is Cisco and Lane. And for them, I would need to like just hear their pleas and see what they said. And I would just really decide from that. I don't
But I
think
mean,
one.
are you the kind of are you the kind of person who's gonna base their vote on, I guess, like comp wise, or
No, no,
like
no,
a
never.
strategy?
I'm very more of a strategy person. Comps are great, and hey, if you're winning all the comps and you're making all the decisions, oh, I'm voting for you. But if you're winning all the cops and somebody's making your decisions, I'm voting for them. Like Kelly's making Cisco's decisions, so Kelly gets my vote.
Right.
Cisco and Lane, I would definitely weigh the options. I think they've both played really good games. It would really just depend on what all they had to say, really.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not just saying if it's Kelly and Lane or Kelly and Cisco, I'm just automatically voting Kelly. I'm still going to see what they each have to say. I just can't imagine them having something better to say than Kelly.
All right. So, as we all know, someone's going to get evicted tonight. Who do you see leaving tonight?
If Lane doesn't win veto, I see Lane leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wins veto, who are you expecting to go?
Oh, Allie. I don't know.
You think Allie maybe?
She could. I mean, I don't think they care. If Lane wins veto, I think they could stay together and just vote out Allie, or they could vote out Cisco. But I don't really see them voting out Cisco because Cisco is helping them a lot. I think they would keep him and try to get Lane out next.
Okay.
Lane is definitely the #1 target right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
guess, go ahead.
Oh, I know what question you're about to ask, so go ahead.
Oh, I guess like my final question for you would be, Mimi, is would you, if you could play a game like on a future season, would you play differently or would you play basically the same way?
I would play the same way.
Really? So you'd come back if you were given the opportunity?
It would just depend on if I had the itch or not.
All right. I think that's all. Did you have fun while you were playing? Did you like it more than
Yeah, I
last
did.
time
I
you
had a
played?
lot of I had a lot of fun.
All right, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. And thank you for playing Mimi. You got brought in
You're
like the
welcome.
last second, like a couple of days before, so
Thank you for hosting. You always do a good job.
thank you.
Thank you.
And yep, that's all our
Thank you.
questions. So goodbye, Mimi. It was a pleasure
Bye,
having you.
all.